Hey, it's Dr. Dan Purser, danpursermd.com. Here I am. It's Tuesday before Christmas, 10 days before Christmas, and we're holding a Facebook Live. I know we couldn't figure out how to get one in on Sunday, and the Sunday after this is Christmas, so we're doing one now, and we're going to do it on the history of topical serum progesterone. You probably know the one of which I speak. We'll leave it at that because we don't want anyone getting in trouble. So, thank you. Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better? Okay. My peeps. So there was a convention in this. Jackson and Brecken, of course, are here, and Cousin Will is back. He survived his whatever. No, he's back. There was a big convention, a world convention in 2009 in the Salt Palace in Salt Lake City, June of that year. Do you guys recall that? Jackson, were you there?
Oh, yeah, I definitely was there.
We drew a lot of hormone levels. Was it progesterone levels? Is that what we drew?
That was the main thing. I remember we offered very basic deals of if you just want to test progesterone or do a very basic female hormone panel. And the vast majority just did the progesterone.
Oh my gosh, we did like 2,000.
Yeah,
or more of them. And then we got the results back. It was kind of stunning because they were all 98% of them were like at 0. Mm-hmm. It was hideous.
I remember because we emailed out all the labs manually back then. I remember scanning every single one in and seeing all of them showing less than 0.5 nanograms per deciliter of
that's 0.
Yeah, 0.
Yeah, even younger women, even older women. Of course, menopause, you're not going to make any.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was very strange to see that. And even back then, I mean, before I knew anything, I was still just a high school kid right then. But it was shocking to just see in masses the problems that people were dealing with.
Right, and I suggested they try a topical progesterone support product.
Mm-hmm.
So,
even real quick though, just kind of reminiscing back to that event, I remember we were causing problems for the event because we literally had hundreds of people lined up outside of our little room where we were doing blood draws. And so they were getting very upset with us because people were, instead of going to all the other planned events of the day, they were coming and getting in line, waiting in line all day just to get their blood drawn with us.
I know.
It was a fun time. It was very cool. And everyone was so nice and so gracious, but everyone wanted to know what was going on.
Yeah, really. I know.
They knew
we should do it again this June.
I'm definitely down for it.
I don't know if they will be.
Yeah.
We should go back in June, this June, and do it again in the Salt Palace. We could do that.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you want us to do that again at the convention in June. Okay, or draw labs or offer vitamin panels. Uh-huh. We did that later and stuff. And those vitamin panels are still on sale for $100 off. That vitamin panel is incredible as it is. If you haven't gotten it, get it now. Even if you're going to go, I'm going to do this. I'll have it drawn in like January, February, whatever. But buy it now because you get that $100 off. It's already cheap, so cheaper $200 now, cheaper than a Spectra supplement. So it's 3 times the
amount of
deficiencies,
minerals,
or vitamin intracellular vitamins. So we suggested that a topical progesterone support serum product for all those women. And it instantly became a huge hit with that particular company, which we all know and love. So PMS, endometriosis, menopause were I think the vast majority of what those women really had.
Yeah. And
they loved it. So do you know the story how we developed it, Brecken?
I don't actually.
We had lunch with the people who own that company and a bunch of other doctors. And I'm not going to mention them. One of them's passed on. I loved him dearly. But, and my wife and his wife, who you all know runs everything now, they talked. And my wife, because they had a cream at the time that wasn't very effective. We now know that creams lose their potency. After 90 days, they're done. Zero. It has zero potency. So they...
And that's specifically progesterone creams or any kind of hormone cream?
That was a progesterone cream.
Okay.
Progesterone. Thank you for clarifying that, having me clarify that. And my wife said, well, Dan's developed stuff like that before, and he can help you. We'll develop it for you. So I went back, and the head of R&D said, let's have a contest between you and Mark. I won't say his last name, and you guys each develop your product and see which one is the best. And ours won easily because of what we did. It was really unique, the serum, all that. And like I said, it became a major popular item for that company. It still is to this day. So, yeah. So that's how we developed it. There's an international version too we came up with, which uses chase tree berry and leaf serum instead of the progesterone because it's not allowed in other countries over the counter. So that's how we developed that, though, and it's been a good seller there too. So
it's so funny. I mean, I always try to get you to like talk and explain about your world travels that you did in conjunction with this company and because of your books and everything at the time. I mean, over the last decade plus, you had some very fun experiences.
I've spoken more in Singapore and Tokyo each than I have in Utah.
Yeah.
I just spoke at that conference, that Utah Osteopathic Medical Association conference a few months ago here. It's like I've spoken more in Singapore than I have here, and they were surprised, but they've been trying to get me to speak for the last few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I've blown away because a lot of them were coming up going, I want you to be my doctor. I want to figure out why I feel so crappy, so fatigued, I'm so exhausted. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've gotten to go with you to a couple of different places to help you, and just watching these different doctors and watching all these medical practitioners. Yes, when the lights just click in their brain of like, I can do so much more for my patients.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
You're not giving them Band-Aids. You need to give them what they're missing. Yeah, and that's what I do with vitamins too. If you feel really exhausted, fatigued, have low hormones, all that, it's probably due to vitamin deficiencies. I sound like a naturopath, and I love naturopaths, but so I'm really an MD, but I'm looking at those intracellular levels. It's a cool way to fix it. I just got an email from a lady this morning saying she felt amazing. She's been on everything for about 8 weeks. I asked for her to email me and let me know, kind of halfway. It's not really halfway, but the 10-week mark is halfway. But so she emailed me. I'm at kind of halfway to the 10-week mark, but she emailed me, and it was impressive. So that makes me smile to know I can make people feel better.
I think people feel validated because for so long they go to their doctor and they're told your numbers are fine, your labs are fine, you're okay. Like, just get over this, you know? And they come to us and they're like, no one has given me an answer why I'm so tired or why I feel this way. And you're like, okay, well, let's do a vitamin panel. And more likely than not, that's almost always what's causing that nasty fatigue that just wrecks them for so long in their life. And we hear that day after day.
I hear a lot of fatigue and hair loss among women.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting. I'm thinking of a really prominent lady right now that I'm going to be presenting her results to, but I already know what they are. I looked at them. What do you think the most common vitamin deficiency is in women that causes hair loss and fatigue and low hormones and low thyroid and insulin receptor dysfunction? All the above.
Man, you've told us as many times I can't think of it.
Is it zinc?
It's zinc.
Oh, yeah.
Brecken, good job.
Thanks, gold
Don't
star.
be low in zinc, Brecken.
I'm not, actually.
Are you sure?
I'm good.
Make sure. Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, sorry. Hello. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so zinc is what's usually low in women. If you go to PubMed and look up zinc and the word alopecia, you'll see tons of articles come up, even some with pictures. Women losing patchy amounts of hair and kind of partially bald. Those are zinc deficiencies. Yeah. So the number one cause of hair loss in women is vitamin deficiency.
Do you think that has an effect with like postpartum hair loss? Because a lot of women will lose hair from that, and with zinc
it could be from lack of
hormones.
estradiol or progesterone postpartum.
Gotcha.
So let's get into that. Top 10 progesterone benefits.
Yeah. So
it really, really helps sleep. Probably the best thing it does. I'm like, I love this stuff. It helps me so much. It stops 95% of hot flashes. Night sweats too.
So hot flashes, is that only something that happens during menopause, or can
perimenopause?
It can be perimenopause.
I get younger women who are hot flashing because they don't make enough progesterone due to malnutrition.
And like hot flashing, does that cause like you just feel really hot, or is it like a visible effect?
Both.
I've always wondered.
It can be both.
Okay.
Someone just said they're hot all the time and hate it. They're always, and it's a complete flip because usually it's women who are cold and men who are hot all the time. And so, yeah, but you'll see them turn red and hot flash. So they usually give them an antidepressant.
Interesting.
Prozac, which I don't get that. I don't know how that helps with a hot flash, but whatever. Okay. It shuts down PMS if done right. Shuts down PMS. Cools off TMJ.
What is TMJ?
Temporomandibular joint dysfunction. Should be TMJD, but it's where women like to talk a lot more than men.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's the cause?
Ask your mom.
You talk a lot.
You talk a lot.
Your mom will say, she has to get in her 5,000 words every day.
I don't think talking is what causes the jaw to hurt.
She says it was, but no, I said it's lack of progesterone, and I proved her right. I proved me right. Okay, whatever. I'm getting a lot of different opinions here. I'm the doctor. Okay. Dramatically treats endometriosis. I deal with a lot of bad endo cases, and you give them natural progesterone. I give them a lot, but some, and they get better. If they have severe endometriosis, they'll naturally want a lot.
Yeah.
And 1 out of 200 women have severe endometriosis. And so those troches we use, they're not really troches, they're triturates, rapidizole triturates, 200 milligram. I have 25 women who take 13 to 17 of those a night. Just, it makes them feel normal.
Yo, 2 knocks me out
I know,
so
1
hard.
or 2 is, your mom took 5 forever, but she anyway, yeah. So, helps fight osteoporosis, sorry. Got excited on osteoporosis. There's spit flying everywhere. Mood elevates very nicely, especially the next day. Women get really happy. Thickens hair. So, if levels are kept high enough, greater than 10 nanograms per milliliter, you get a 500% decreased risk of breast cancer. That's crazy. That's from the American College of Epidemiology. So anyone who goes, that's crazy, won't do that. In 1981, American College of Epidemiology looked up their progesterone study on PubMed. They went back and reviewed all the literature before that. Yes, medicine did do studies and did exist before 1981. Yeah.
When did you get your degree?
About 3,000 years ago. I don't know. It was 81.
Oh, right at 81.
No, that was my college degree. It was 85, I think, 84. I can't remember. Somewhere in there. Maybe I don't have one.
That's a good thing to say.
I'm licensed. I have one.
He's joking.
Okay. If levels are kept high enough, natural progesterone can dramatically 1,000% decrease risk of all cancers overall. Those are 2 huge endpoints on that. Progesterone's amazing for what it does. It can also prevent recurrence of breast cancer, even if it's PR positive. You should take more. I learned that at University of Southern California. The PharmDs taught me that.
And this is women only, right?
Yeah, not for men. Absolutely not for men. I know I hear doctors saying that all the time. I'm like, to calm guys down, nope, not for men. It causes vascular and testicular inflammation. So not good. A bonus benefit, it gets rid of most anxiety in women. And number 2, unlike synthetic progestins, natural progesterone markedly reduces the risk for clotting and heart attacks and strokes. Natural, and I already talked about it. Bonus benefit number 3, it causes apoptosis of fibrocystic breast tissue or fibrodense breast tissue. So women say, I've got dense breast tissue, and they're worried about it. You need to take progesterone because those are pre-malignant cells. And it'll hurt for a while. It'll hurt for a few weeks while you're going through it, but it works. So, any more thoughts on this? Comments, thoughts?
Couple questions. What would you say is the best form of progesterone to take? Is it an oral version, or does it depend on the case?
It depends on the case. Most women do fine with just a serum. And there are a couple of good serums out there. One by Young Living, one by Designs for Health.
Yeah.
So, I know both those quite well. But if you want to step it up beyond that, you got to go with the RDT. You can go with capsules. Some women do well with capsules. And there is Prometrium out there. It's incredibly expensive. It's a name brand, big pharma, but it's natural progesterone. If they're giving you anything other than Prometrium,
don't do it.
I probably wouldn't do it.
Besides, like compounded.
And they'll tell you it's natural progesterone when in reality it's a progestin, which causes a 250% increase in breast cancer, clotting, heart attack risk.
Crazy.
And get my little book on progesterone. It's still cheap on Amazon, right?
I don't know the price currently.
We should mark it up a lot.
No.
For Christmas. What? Okay.
Mark it up for Christmas.
How much of the serum should you be using a night?
The one particular one we've been kind of alluding to?
Or both?
8 drops.
8 drops?
Yeah, the one from Designs for Health, 1 drop to 2 dropperfuls.
Like the squeeze droppers?
Yeah. So, yeah, okay. And it helps with migraines, too. I didn't put that in there.
That's good.
It helps with everything. I think you can make even biscuits with it. I'm teasing. I'm just joking. Like butter.
Real quick, and maybe I'm catching you off the cuff a little bit, but how does progesterone work in the female body? What are some of the mechanisms that go on to make it do all of these different things?
It's very vascularly cooling. It reduces inflammation almost everywhere it's used. It attaches to the endometrial. There are progesterone receptors there on the endometrium, on the outside and the inside and throughout, and reduces cooling. It reduces heat and inflammation. So women with endometriosis have a lot of inflammation everywhere because they have really low progesterone levels. If you can figure out why they have low progesterone levels, thus the vitamin panel, well, good. If you can't, you got to give them lots of progesterone. And they'll tell you, they figure it out. I'm like, play with it. You got 6 months, we'll figure it out. You should have it figured out in the next 2 or 3. And usually they do.
And is it something that women should stay on their whole lives, or is it kind of like end with menopause, or go more aggressive?
Most women take it after menopause for hot flashes, night sweats, and to prevent osteoporosis. I wouldn't help sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find the doses change depending on your age, or does it?
A little.
Yeah.
But if you're premenopausal and have endometriosis, you might be on 4 or 5 a night. And postmenopausal, you might be on 1. So, yeah, a little.
What about women who are pregnant or breastfeeding? Is there
I'm talking about RDTs just then, too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Could those women take progesterone, or do you find that their levels are high enough with pregnancy or right after?
I have a lot of women who take it to help maintain their pregnancy. You can do that. Progesterone level, the first day before pregnancy, the day right before pregnancy, can be 1 to 20 nanograms per milliliter. The last day of pregnancy could be 930 nanograms per milliliter or higher. So it can go up 90-fold.
Crazy.
Or 100 or 1,000-fold even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what level would you say we should be aiming for? I know your cancer.
I don't know. Above, yeah. If you can get it above 10, great. Some women can't tolerate it. Makes them too sleepy. I'll take whatever I can get.
Yeah.
There's lots of good data on any elevation, and it helps. So.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think of all the questions I have about progesterone.
Yeah. What would be like the top 3 causes of low progesterone in women?
Menopause.
Mm-hmm.
So ovarian failure. Vitamin deficiencies. And trauma.
What kinds of trauma?
Birth trauma, car accident, sternal hurts their pelvis, damages their ovaries, stuff like that. Number 4 would be pituitary. So pituitary damage, pituitary just is dysfunctional for whatever reason.
So if you have like a hysterectomy, should you be taking progesterone?
Yeah,
after?
I see that put out all the time. I don't know where that comes from. There's no literature that supports that. If it is, I want to look at it. Someone send it to me.
Yeah.
It's not going to be backed by research. Women are still women, still need progesterone, whether you have a uterus or not. It's like your foot's been cut off, so you don't need blood anymore. Well, yeah, you still need blood, and you still need progesterone. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, just because your uterus is gone or been removed. I hear all the time. I don't know where it comes from. I know it comes from doctors. They must be getting taught that somewhere in residency or something.
It's weird.
It's just a weird, unsupported old wives' tale, Dr. Old Wives' Tale. They're out there. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Most of them are bad.
We've done a video on wives' tales. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, we did.
That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Does low progesterone affect vaginal dryness, or is that something else?
You convert some progesterone to testosterone, but usually not. It's usually low testosterone that causes vaginal dryness.
Gotcha.
Also, libido, vaginal dryness. It's low testosterone. Doctors always prescribe estradiol cream for that. Maybe I've seen it work once out of 1,000 times. It's usually low testosterone. You prescribe testosterone cream for them.
And this is an interesting question. Is it normal to feel worse before feeling better when using a progesterone product?
No, that's a little odd.
Yeah.
Usually you feel better from the get-go. You take it.
Yeah, I take the RDTs right now.
Yeah.
I take one a night.
Other than what you were saying about his breast issue, right?
Because that might hurt. But, I don't know. I feel like this question, she just feels, maybe she's feeling more fatigued.
Yeah, take it at night.
Yeah.
Even if you're taking too much, it'll get a hangover the next day and be sleepy.
Yeah,
So it
what
might be
happens
too
if
much.
you take too much? Is it just that?
Makes you sleepy. Gives you a hangover. I call them progesterone hangover. You want to sleep all day.
I had that last week.
Yeah.
Because I was taking extra because it's TMI. I was on my period. But I was so hungover the next day. I've never really drank anything, but it felt like I was so tired, so dizzy, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
It hits hard.
Yeah, women, yeah.
Yeah. This
You
lady,
can't live with it, can't live without it at the higher dose.
No.
Some women just get stuck in between.
she says she's feeling dizziness and headaches.
She's taking
using
too
it.
much.
Okay.
Cut them in half, cut them in fours.
Or she's taking the serum, so cut your dose down a
Yeah,
little.
cut your dose down.
Well, I mean, one thing we can't talk about is we have several sales still going on.
Oh, yeah, tell me about them really quick.
Yeah, just mainly that, like you mentioned, the CMA testing as well as genetic testing are still $100 off. DanPurserMD.com.
If you're having anxiety or depression and no one can figure it out, get that Pro 7. It's really good, especially for bad anxiety. I love that test for anxiety. It's how I figure out so many anxiety cases.
That's
treat them naturally.
That's so cool to me. It's something so unique. It's exactly what you've discovered and developed over all these years.
Yeah, I helped develop that test. Yeah.
We talk about an algorithm that you've created on your own of just looking at all these different genetic and vitamin deficiencies. And
if you have a lithium deficiency or B12 and folate, all those will cause depression. Most vitamin deficiencies cause depression, but lithium causes anxiety. Lack of lithium, man. And I'm not talking about lithium the drug. Everyone's like, I don't want to take the drug. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's lithium the supplement, lithium orotate.
Mm-hmm.
So, and take a tiny little dose, but it works.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I was having a really good conversation with Bailey the other night about homeostasis. Our body constantly in flux, trying to balance everything out. And then whenever some kind of trauma or something happens, it all gets thrown out of whack. And it takes a long time for things to bounce back and things to heal. And so constantly supporting your cells and supporting all of the deficiencies that you have, whether hormonal, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, antioxidants, everything, whatever you can do to support everything, that homeostasis gets back and you get feeling better and better than ever. And that's what I always love. It's exactly what you always talk about. The good nutrition in equals good wellness out.
Or good hormones out.
Good hormones out. Yeah, it's all of that.
So our Substack, I just added, I hadn't seen those articles yet.
You haven't yet? No.
God.
Yeah, when you get the
I was
post.
going to say I added 6 more articles to it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to look at our Substack.
Yeah.
Tell them the website for that.
Substack is just danpursermd.substack.com. I'll put it in the comments too there. It's a really fun place. That's where you're able to talk a little bit more in depth about a lot of these.
I'm putting it all
things.
out there on that thing.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I probably have 75 articles I'm going to be posting.
Wonderful.
It's my life work, really. I'm going to be putting up there. All the things I found, discovered, learned. Is it searchable?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Within Substack itself. Yeah.
Can you search the articles in there or no?
What do you mean search the articles?
Like you want to look for progesterone, all the articles that
Yes,
says
yeah.
progesterone.
Yeah.
Or taurine, or depression, or anxiety.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
optimized for that. So that's what's great. Along with everything we're just talking about, your supplements, the physician designed line, are very specialized in very unique supplements. And it's fun as we try to expand that line, talking more and more different marketers and other people. Everyone tells us how unique of our products they are,
No.
because they are developed and designed for very specific reasons.
Yeah, and they're really good. They're really
They are
quality.
fantastic.
So
They're on sale too.
anyway, okay, get ready for the holidays. I know we are. And we'll try and get everyone seen we can in the next 2 weeks that have vitamin panels results that are coming back. I may have to work late some nights. Happens. I am a doctor, so and I'm finally done painting my son Coleman's 95 Camry. I sanded that thing down. I prepped it, primed it. Oh my gosh, it's a lot of work to paint a car.
Painted a car?
Yeah, I'm painting Coleman's car.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not gonna be beautiful. It's a 95 Camry, but it runs like a charm. So
What color is it?
maroon. It's still maroon. I didn't do anything special. I didn't make it jazzy.
Come on.
It's just yeah.
Could have made it Christmas themed. And
You could have
taken
put
a
your
picture.
face all over it.
Yeah.
That's what I would have
Put a
done.
I'm
wrap
pretty
on
sure I got the paint all over my face. Does that matter? Or
Close
I'm
enough.
scrubbing it off. I'm wearing all this gear when I'm out there. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I'm done with that. Now I can actually wrap some presents. So
Yeah. So this is probably the last Facebook Live before the
think?
end of the year. We may. If
we'll
you,
do one in thanks for him.
Perfect. Yeah.
We'll all sing. So I thought we'd all carol to him for 2 hours
Mm-hmm.
and do the some Christmas dancing.
Live stream caroling.
We could do a live stream caroling. Yeah, we could talk about that.
For 2 hours.
It's just Dr. Purser singing
Can
for
Will
2
sing?
hours.
Oh yeah, Will's a
You
great
should
singer.
play your saxophone.
I should.
You
I've
should.
done it at conventions before.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, that blows people away. They don't realize I'm really good at it.
Yeah, you should
So
do
ripping
that.
off some jazz riffs. Yeah,
We
no.
could call you.
I'm good at everything. When I try and set my mind to something, I try and be the best ever. But when I was in college, I realized there's only one Kenny G, and it was never going to be me. So
That
I give up
rhymes.
the
Kenny
music
G
major
and
thing.
Dr. P. I mean,
Yeah,
could
whatever.
have been a thing.
Okay, no. Okay, I love all you guys. Thank you all, and God bless, and go in good health. Merry Christmas.